Hi everybody, I'd like to thank you for joining me as always. Today we're going to be making tomato sauce for an upcoming lasagna I'm going to be making. So we're going to make the sauce tonight. We're going to cool it off, put it in the refrigerator, and then within a couple days I hope to make the lasagna. So what I'm going to do is start out by running down the ingredients that I'm going to be using. I got pastini tomato puree, a couple cans. I got a can of tomato paste, pastini. I got some parsley flakes, some oregano, some Italian seasoning, some bay leaf, a pound of ground beef, some olive oil, a large onion, and some garlic, which we're going to peel. And I got salt and pepper, of course. So let's start by peeling the onion and peeling the garlic. So I really like onion, so I'm going to go with a large onion. I'd like to show everybody that I have my own channel now, Dave Senior Live. You can click in the description and subscribe to my channel if you'd like. So this is the first time we're going live on my new channel. So thank you very much. Sorry, we're not live on my new channel. I thought we were, but these videos will be posted to my new channel. So okay. What's going on, cowpoke? What's going on, white two-pack? MM. Oh, thank you for subbing already. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to start by cutting up the onion. Alright, I'll make some pizza sometime. I also going to make those blueberry muffins too. I was actually going to make those tonight, but I didn't have a chance to get out and get the blueberries. But that is coming up soon, so. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. NWO for life. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying waste of time. So what we're going to do is, after we cut the onions and peel the garlic, we're going to fry it with some olive oil. And we're going to fry it right in the pan that we're going to be making the sauce. We're going to cook that for a little while, then we're going to push that off to the side and let it sit. And then we're going to fry the hamburger in a separate pan so we can drain off the oil, and then we'll add the hamburger to the pan cooked. So I don't like to cook the hamburger in the same pan that I'm making the sauce, because I don't want all that grease in my sauce. I left a little bit of the onion behind. I'm not going to use the whole thing. How's it going, Connie Rose? How are you? Edward J. Hubbard, what's going on, man? That's good. I'm glad you're doing well. Just about finished chopping up the onions. Now we're going to start the fun part, not really, peeling the garlic. It's a little bit of work, but it's worth it. I don't like using that stuff that's already in a jar, pre-minced. Peeling it fresh is excellent. When you once you peel the skin off the garlic clove, I like to cut that little brown top off and get rid of it. I don't use that. These garlic cloves are a little on the small side. One got away. Oh, put that off to the side. Funny, when you peel the garlic, sometimes the garlic is really sticky. And I've got about 3 more cloves to peel, then we can chop it up. Then we'll heat up our pan and we'll get to cooking. I'm hoping I get an early day off of work soon so I can make the lasagna. But I won't be able to do it tonight because I like the sauce to cook for a while. it again. Do it. Can I still see the chat? Gotcha. I don't see any of your chats. Come on. Okay, so we get all the garlic and onions chopped. Now we can heat up our pan. Then I'm going to add some olive oil. And then we'll add our ingredients. Salt and pepper. We'll cook that up for a little while. Oh, actually, I'm going to cook it in here. I'm sorry. I'm going to cook that right in the big kettle. So we'll heat up this one. We're going to get our pan hot that we're actually going to make our sauce in. We're going to cook the onions and garlic right in there. So we'll let it heat up a little. With a spatula for stirring it up. Mr. Ryan Mello, are you out there tonight? We're going to go ahead. We're going to add some olive oil to the pan. I'm going to add my onion and garlic. I got 2 cans of puree here. I'm going to look for a can of crushed if I have it. Be right back. I was looking for a can of crushed tomatoes, but I don't have it. So I want to add a little texture to the sauce. So what I'm going to do is just grab a couple fresh tomatoes and cut those up. couple of fresh tomatoes here. So when the time comes, we'll cut these up, we'll rinse them and cut them up. Garlic and onions smelling fantastic. Mouth watering. Gonna add a little bit more oil. Add a little salt. Gonna go right around. Some pepper, black pepper. Not too much because we'll be adding some later to the sauce. And we're not going to cook this that long. We're just going to, when the onions start to get a little bit soft, that'll be fine. You want to make sure that you don't burn it. You want to stay with it. I'm going to heat the pan up and I am going to show you how to make the lasagna, but I'm not sure if it's tomorrow because tomorrow is one of my busiest days at work. Mondays are my busiest day, so if it's not Monday, it's Tuesday. The sauce will last a couple days in the refrigerator, no problem. So if it's not Monday, I hope to do it on Tuesday, which is a much slower day at work for me. So, yes, but I will be making the lasagna video. It's one thing I really enjoy making is lasagna. I can smell the garlic. It's really coming out. It's actually almost done. I'm going to start heating up the pan to brown the hamburger. And you don't have to cook the hamburger like too much because it's going to be in the sauce too. Basically, once it's done, the pink is all gone, it's fine. I'm going to go strain out the meat and I'm going to add it right back to the pan and start to add my sauce. So, I'm going to heat the pan. Dave? Dave? I'm lowering down the heat now. This is just about ready. Thank you. Okay, so now This is just about done. I've lowered it down. And I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to the bottom of my pan. And I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking my ground beef. In case you didn't catch it, it's exactly 1 pound. So while the hamburger is starting to brown, I'm going to go ahead and start opening my cans. Let's start with the tomato paste. Scraping off the tomato paste. I'm going to start opening the sauces now. Got one more can to open. Then I'm going to rinse my tomatoes and I'm going to cut those up. Okay, going to stir in the ground beef. It's starting to cook. It's already starting to. Meat's already starting to brown. Rinse my tomatoes and cut those up. Pull the little stickers off, which I hate these little stickers. Got the tomatoes rinsed. Now I'm going to cut the tomatoes up. Cutting that little green spot out on the top where the stem was attached. Push that off to the side. And I'm just basically going to dice them up. Give that hamburger or ground beef a quick stir. It's looking good. Like I said, we don't want to overcook it. Just want to cook it until the pink is gone. Well, it's actually almost there. That's one tomato. Got one more tomato to cut up. Got the tomato all cut up. Check on the ground beef. One more minute. Then we can drain off the fat. Pink's just about gone, so I'm going to turn the heat off and I'm going to go and strain this. I'll be right back. I'm going to strain the meat and I'm going to add it right to the sauce. And I'm just using a colander like this. Now I got my meat strained. I'm going to add it right to the pan. Now we can get this right out of the way. Now I can start adding my ingredients. Got my diced tomatoes. I'll add them right in. I got a spoon. Gonna add the paste, tomato paste. a little bit tricky to get out of the can. That right there. Now we're going to wash down the cans with some water. You don't want to waste anything. I don't know if you can see, but there's still a lot of sauce remaining in the can, so what I like to do is wash it down. That's one. Do this one too. We'll put a little in the paste can. Just kind of stir it up a little. Going to increase my heat now. Put it on about medium. We've got some bay leaf. In case you never use those, just add a lot of flavor to your sauce, and then later you just have to pick the pieces out. You don't eat it, but you just pick the pieces out. But it's definitely worth it because it adds a lot of flavor. Gonna add a little oregano. Some Italian seasoning. I'm gonna go right around the top. Go right around. Got some parsley. Same thing, go right around. We'll be adding more later, so. I got some garlic powder. We'll add some of that, even though we already added fresh garlic. Salt and pepper, of course. Just going around once. And some salt. And then we'll stir it up. Add a little bit more water to that can of paste, because there's still quite a bit left in there. Wash that right in. Sauce is looking great. Got all the ingredients stirred in. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a lid for that. go ahead and clean up a little. Got all my cans rinsed out. So we're going to basically bring the sauce up to a little boil, and then we're going to lower it down to a simmer, and we're going to let it cook. We're going to go ahead and keep all ingredients out because we're going to be adding them as needed. We'll be tasting the sauce. We got a little bit of onion left, we're going to save that. Got a little baggie, throw that in there. Throw it right in the baggie. This will always come in handy for making an omelet or something like that. We won't be needing the olive oil anymore, and we won't be needing the bay leaves, but everything else we'll keep out. And we're done with the cutting board and the can opener. Sauce is looking like it's really thick, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. I got my water right here. Now we got a good consistency. So now, basically we just let it cook. This is what's really going to make your lasagna, rather than just grabbing some jars of ragu or something like that. You know, it's going to taste so much better that you made the sauce yourself. You use the fresh ingredients. You know, it's just going to be so much better. So I highly advise you can make a lasagna that you make your sauce yourself, or you have somebody make it for you. So, because making lasagna itself is really doesn't really take that long, and it's really easy to learn. But it's making the sauce that takes time. It's really up to you with the sauce. You can keep it simmering for, some people will let it simmer for an hour and a half. Some people 2, some people 4. You know, it really depends. It's a personal preference thing, you know. There's no set time. But like an hour and a half to 2 hours I like to do. So that's just me though. I'm actually going to bring it up to a boil, then I'm going to let it simmer. And every once in a while I'm going to check it, stir it, taste it, and go from there. I mean, if you're going to let the sauce cook for a really long time, like 4 hours or something, you're probably going to have to add water periodically. You might have to add some water because you have some evaporation depending on how high you have the stove, so keep that in mind too. So you will probably lose some. So we'll give it its time, we'll let it build up, check it, and then I'm going to lower it down to a simmer. Looks good enough to eat right now. But we'll let it cook. Sounds like it's starting to come up to a boil now. And it is. out really nice. I'm up. Dave, can you bring the camera in? I want to show you all the consistency of the sauce. So you got your onions, your tomatoes, your ground beef, all blended together, throwing out a delicious aroma. So, to give you an idea of how this lasagna is going to be. So we got it up to a nice boil now. I'm going to lower it down to a simmer. We're going to let it cook. Stirring it every so often, tasting it, adding whatever ingredients you like for flavor to taste, and that's all. Then we're going to shut it off and let it cool, and then we'll be making our lasagna. So I'd like to thank all of you for joining me tonight and making the sauce. And remember to please check the link, because I do have my own channel now where all my cooking videos will be posted to my channel. And I'd like to thank you for joining us, and have a good night. Thank you.